So Donald Stojack talks to interesting people, and today I'm going to talk with Carly. And some of you know Carly, but we're gonna do something very interesting today. Carly and I are going to talk about running towards the light, or running towards just about anything. And what happens, I think, so many times for us is that there's something there and we don't realize it, but there's a resistance, or there's some kind of a pocket that's kind of holding us back. And we can call it just about anything we want. Carly and I, when we kind of were brainstorming on this the other day, we landed on the word fear, but I don't want you to fear the word fear. Okay. So we're not just going to stick around here talking about fear all day, but the important issue is, how do we get over that stuff that maybe is holding us back? Each of us are there. I know even myself, as I go after very big things, I have a number of things coming up this month that just scare the bejeebers out of me. I got a medical procedure coming up in about a week. I'm going to go tent camping for the first time since I was like age 20. I'm going to be speaking at a big event in Houston coming up at the end of the month, where some really high-powered people are going to be. And each one of those causes a little resistance inside myself that shouldn't be there at this stage, right? You think, well, Donald, you've got this handled. I don't. I still have to work on it. And so I recognize in each of us that we're there with that stuff. And as I've gotten to know Carly, I have been really impressed with her ability to move beyond incredible stuff. And so I want to tap into her knowledge and her wisdom around that and see if we can't find some stuff that can help us all. Okay, would that be fair enough? So Carly, tell us a little bit about who you are.
First of all, I have led an incredibly epic life with a lot of trauma that if you knew my entire story, it would just break your heart. And you'd be like, how is this beautiful person able to continue to show up day after day? I will give you a short version. I had birth trauma with my son that left me feeling like I wasn't a good mother. Before that, I had gotten into a relationship that I didn't see. I was squinting at the idea that this was an abusive relationship, stayed in it for 13 years, basically broke me down, and I could not see my own power. I was terrified to start my own business, even with everybody telling me this is amazing what you're doing, helping these women, after what I discovered with my birth. And I still didn't see it. I wouldn't go for it. I had all this fear around it. I finally got the courage to leave my husband in 2019 after he got a woman pregnant. And I realized, okay, like this is like, there's no way this is going to work. And then my house burned down. And I had absolutely no idea how I was going to crawl out of that. But here's the thing is that whenever there's a deep desire, when you've seen the light, when you've seen that princess in the castle, you know that's your one true love. I'm going somewhere with this. Everybody, have you seen Sleeping Beauty?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everybody's seen Sleeping Beauty, the Disney version, not the live action. This is the animated one. Okay, so you know that the prince has seen the princess in the forest. He doesn't even know she's the princess, but he knows she's the one he's going to marry. He's found his true love. He goes into the forest thinking this is going to be easy. I'm going to knock on the door and I'm going to open the door and there she's going to be, and I'm going to run off into the sunset with her. It's not what happens. He gets kidnapped and taken to a dungeon with this evil fairy. He doesn't know that this is his princess that he actually went away from, because he could have just stayed at the castle. He could have said, oh yeah, I'm married to a princess, I have to stay. No, he saw that dream. That's that light. So the princess represents the light. That is that beautiful dream that you have. Now, here's the thing about fear. That's the dragon. That's the obstacles. And it's always going to be there. In every single fairy tale, there is a hero, there is a task, there is a quest. You know that there's a beautiful treasure, but there's a terrifying dragon on the other side. I had so many terrifying dragons. I knew in order for me to have the beautiful life that I wanted, the partner I had was not serving me. That was my dragon. How am I going to be able to set out on my own and be a single mother, which was the scariest thing in the world for me? And the light was there. So there's two types of fear. The first one is the one that basically it's an excuse. It's an excuse. You're saying, I'm afraid to do this. I'll only do this if you do this for me. Drag me across the coals, but you're going to get tired. You're going to give up and I won't have to do the thing. I don't actually want the thing. Here's the way around it. Go back to the prince. You're telling him Princess Aurora is in this castle, but you didn't tell him that she's the maiden in the forest. By the way, there's a princess in a castle. You have to go kiss her and she'll wake up. No, dude, I want the princess in the one I met in the forest. I don't want her. So peace out. I'm going back to my kingdom and I'm going to find the princess. Like, that's it. It's like, no, peace out. So if it's not what you really want, you have to really be honest. You have to think to yourself, okay, fine. If I'm too scared to do this and I'm never going to do this and I'm just going to give up. This is the thing. It's like, okay, I'll stay in this marriage. I'll stay in this relationship. I won't go for my business. I won't go for my dreams. I'll just stay stuck and that'll be it. But there's that deep, deep longing and desire inside of you. And when you say to yourself, okay, fine, let's imagine this life of me never going after the thing I really, really want. If I play small, if I settle, what's that going to look like? And you can go as dark as you want. And I actually go very, very dark. So I got to the point, it's like, nobody ever got any help from me in my business. My children grew up in this loveless marriage. I just kept going to the point where I just give up and I become a Stepford wife. I've got no agency. Like, I went dark. We are going seriously dark. I even got to the idea of like, I'm just dead inside. And then there's that little spark. It's like, no, that dream is out there. I am going for it. Even if it's going to be really hard, even if there's a dragon that I have to face, that is my true love. I have to go. Now, I could get burned to death. I could get crushed by the boulders on the way, not even getting to the dragon. I can get stabbed by a bunch of arrows. I can get a whole bunch of lead poured over my head as I'm getting out to the gate. I can get killed by all these thorns. I can get burned up before I even fight that dragon. But here's the thing, is you've got 3 tools with you. You all have them. The tools are, and this is actually a fun little acronym, the things you need to know about how to conquer fear. If you follow the first letter from each one of these, you will figure it out. I'm not going to say it. You'll figure it out. Okay, so the first one that you need is your shield, your mighty shield of virtue, your courage. The next one you need is the truth sword, the mighty sword of truth. So the truth sword, but it has to be truth because T. The next one you have is your fairies. And the last one is you've got that ultimate treasure. Donald's laughing because he's figured it out. The ultimate treasure or the unconscious princess. Basically, you know that there's this ultimate desire that you need to go after. Okay, so I've given you your tools. So what are they? The shield is what I also call could, might, possibly, maybe happen when I'm teaching my clients. Like, I've basically taken this and taken it away from birth and I found a different metaphor for it. And it's basically, this is your shield. And what you want to do is think to yourself about those numbers. You know the ones. Most small businesses fail. Okay, but some succeed. Most relationships end in divorce. Okay, but not all of them. And you can look at those numbers and you can keep them and say, yeah, I'm like 50% of these things fail or 95% fail. But there's always somebody who has done it. There is always that chance that it can be you. You can either let the numbers stop you and scare you, and that's sport, but no, you don't have to. You've got your shield, because your shield is recognizing that there's a chance. There is some protection here. Yes, you have seen that there are failures, but watch how those failures pan out. What is the pattern between success and between failure? It's everywhere. You can see it even in nature. You follow that, you've got your shield of protection. You know you're not going in blind. You're not going to run after the dragon with like no armor and no shield and no sword. That would just be stupid. You're not going to do that. You're going to have your shield. The next one is your sword of truth. Your sword of truth is your courage and determination, your persistence, the fact that you have your weapon, that you can conquer this fear. You can actually challenge this fear. You can keep going. And the way I do this one is a really powerful framework of writing down your fear. And then what you do is you challenge it. Has anybody done this before? Oh, actually they have. Has anybody like me done this before? Oh, actually they have. Is there any other information that I need to seek out? Oh, yeah. Okay, so what's really stopping me? Oh, there's this bias, this fear that's come up. Is it even mine? Or is it something I was taught in my family that I'm just following this pattern? You keep going down that, that's your sword. Suddenly you're like, well, what's my truth? Well, my truth is that I believe that this is my destiny. I believe that I am meant for this. I believe that this is the most exquisite thing that I'm ever going to get, and that anything less, I can't settle. That's my true love in there. I have to go and slay this dragon or die trying. So then the next one, your fairies, is your faith and your wisdom to know that these challenges are going to come up. The boulders are going to fall down. The pig demons are going to chase you. They're going to throw their arrows at you. They're going to do everything to try to stop you before you even get to the dragon. Maleficent's going to throw her thorns up. The evil sorceress is going to do that, and you're going to get stuck. But you've got the fairies to keep you going. You have your faith to keep you going. You have that protection, because you know what happens when you start to take action with your fear is that the universe starts to give you things. I've seen this happen. I decided I needed to leave my partner. First, my house burned down, but then I got a house that was closer to my children's school that I could start to stand on my own. And then I recognized that I needed to build my business, and I had no idea where to start. And suddenly the teachers came. It's serendipitous. This is magic that happens when you decide something, it happens. So the fairies will come as long as you are willing to go out and face that dragon. Now, the dragon, of course, is your fear, your challenges. And there's a point where you're going to feel like, oh, crap, I'm about to lose this battle. Your shield has just been blown from you and the whole forest is on fire. What happens is that you've still got that sword of truth. That's your ultimate destiny. And the fairies are going to enchant that sword. Your faith is going to enchant that sword so that suddenly all you have to do is throw it. That's literally what the fairies did. They said, sword of truth, fly swift and sure, evil die, good endure. And he just throws the sword and the dragon is defeated. And then he goes and he gets the princess. And I'm just going to say, though, what if she had woken up and he had said, you know what? I'm not fighting this dragon. She'll wake up some other way. Peace out. Would he have deserved her? That's the thing. You have, if you really want something, you have to be willing to do everything it takes. You have to face those dragons. You have to face that fear, because otherwise you don't deserve the outcome. The universe doesn't give unless you deserve it, and you can't show that you deserve it unless you're putting the work in. So would I have deserved my business if I'd said, you know what, peace out, everybody needs to just do it for me? No. Would I have earned it? Would I know how to keep it going? No. Would I have been able to be free of my partner and be able to have this amazing life and have the people around me that I have now, including Donald? No. You've got to put the work in. And that means getting on a call with someone who is way higher in your level that you're like, this person is amazing. Who am I? But you do it anyway, and magic happens. It's going out and it's starting something that you're terrified of, but you know it's your destiny, and you do it. And maybe not all of it works out, but you learn along the way and you get where you need to go. But the other option is you say, peace out, you go and settle, and deep down, that's not it. That's not what you want. And you're in despair and you're unhappy and you don't know why, but you actually do know why. It's because this is not for you. Something better is out there. And you have to go after that dragon.
Excellent, Carly. It's interesting in life. I always put it this way. You can believe in magic or not believe in magic. That's your option. Okay. And whether you believe in magic or you don't believe in magic, the magic's out there. So why not just go ahead and believe in it? And like when you talk about the fairies, it literally is that. It's kind of like, okay, there's a power that we don't tap into as human beings. And part of what we have to realize here is that whatever we're facing, there are things out there to help us. And what Carly's talking about too is, I think too many times we try to logically block it because, oh, that can't be. Oh, the help is not there, or they would never talk to me, but they will, and very tactically they will. And I think too many times in life, if you see your life as a story, well, duh, but think of it as a movie script, right? And every movie script, when there's that pivot in the plot, right? It's not smooth at that point. I mean, the plot pivots, right? And all heck breaks loose. And so many of us here, we've decided to make a pivot into business or pivot with our business. And we think all of a sudden it's all going to line up because I've said, oh, I'm going to be in business. Okay, now it's just going to be, I'm going to have it all figured out. No, the minute you make the pivot, that's when it just flings everywhere. And what happens to too many people, they go, oh, it flung everywhere, stop. No, it flung everywhere, keep going, run at it, literally run at it. I always tell the story of the little girl that's in the round pen and she just gleefully flinging horse doo-doo everywhere, right? And everybody goes by, what's wrong with this little girl? She's just flinging horse doo-doo everywhere. And finally somebody says, little girl, what are you doing? You're just giddy and happy flinging horse doo-doo in the round pen. And she says, if there's this much horse poop in here, there's got to be a pony somewhere. And so many times we're not willing to recognize, oh, this looks like a bunch of, right? Fling it. Right? Pulling it far and wide because there's a pony in there somewhere. There's absolutely a pony in there somewhere. Does that make sense? It's like if you're waiting for this to all be smooth and work out, it ain't it. And the best of them out there, the best of us out there, we run at it and we trip and we fall. I fell going up the stairs the other day in front of a bunch of people. And you know what I did? I got up and kept going up the stairs. I didn't go, oh, I fell on the stairs, embarrassing. I'm just going to hide in a little, right? I says, hey, the best of us do it. Here, let's go, right? Be willing to fall up the stairs. That's it. Does that make sense? Very tactically, and where Carly and we were talking about this the other day, and where it kind of came up, I was talking about a project I'm working on. And so just to think this through, okay? I'm sending out the same email to this list every day. And I've been doing it since November, right? I got the list in November, spent some money, got everything set up, crafted an incredible email, right? And just with a lot of testing, with a lot of know-how. And okay, got systems worked up. And then we started really pounding it in early February. Nothing, right? So with the same list, think about this for a moment, the same list of people, I sent the same email to the same list day after day for a few weeks with nothing, and almost scrapped the project that I had invested time and money in too. And what happened was Tuesday, we popped 2 big deals out of that list. And one day passed where I was ready to pull the plug on it. What if I had stopped? Those 2 people are going to be well served by what we're going to do for them. And if I had stopped, because this is, oh, I've sent the same email too many times. People are tired of getting, I mean, literally the same copy. I didn't change the subject line, nothing. Think about that for a moment. Did I really do that, Tony? I really did that. Okay. You guys paying attention? Did Donald really do that? Everything that you think, oh, I should have A/B tested. I should have tried different subject lines. Oh, I had a good subject line. I had a good email. I wasn't sure the list was any good, but what do I have to lose? I bought the list. I got the list. What do you got to lose? I kept running at it. So you know what I did today? What do you think I did today with that list? Eric, what do you think I did today with that list?
You sent the same bloody email.
I sent that same email again to the same list of people. You know what I'll probably do next week? On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going to send the same email to the same list. So have any of you with your audience out there on Facebook or an email list, or say, they're just not listening to me. Nobody's responding. I'm going to stop. Anybody done that?
In the past.
Why? What are you afraid of? Questions? Comments? Do you see the difference? Do you believe in magic? Elaine, do you believe in magic?
Yes.
Oh, no. Come on. That was a very qualified yes. You see, so for each of us here, I mean, I'm just as guilty as everybody. Okay, so so I just gave you an example of Donald believing in magic, but I got to tell you, just as many times as I've done that, I've not done it. So you see, oh, that's easy for you, Donald. Hey, Carly, you've got this figured out. And I will tell you, for each of us, because Carly and I, we talk very frequently, we mess up. We let it overcome us. We take a day and we put our head under the pillow and go back to sleep. We're just like, don't think we're perfect by any means. Okay. But at some point we pick ourselves up and run at it again. Does that make sense? Run at it again. Run at it again. Do it again. Tom put out another video, right? Just do it again. What do you got to lose? Do you believe in magic? So think about this for a moment. Okay, I'll run you get through an exercise, and this opens up a thought to us, I think. So let's talk about time, because the real value here is time, correct? Because everybody like me, the biggest thing, I mean, like Jim Rohn said, hey, I can make more money. I can't make more time, right? Yeah, have you heard that? Okay, big factor here. So let's kind of break that down. Time, past, present, future. Okay, agreed? Write it down. Past, present, and future. What if the future never exists? Okay, what do we got left? Anybody? If the future never exists, what do we have left?
Now.
We have now, and what else?
Past.
The past. Okay, when is now?
No.
No, it's already in the past. The moment you say it, it's already in the past. Eric, you're kind of going, oh, did he just open a can of worms there? So think about that, right? So if the future never exists, okay, and now is now the past. Okay. The only option we have is to make that plot twist. We've got nothing to lose. Make sense? There's nothing to be lost by throwing your hat over the fence. Because the minute you throw your hat over the fence, it's already in the past. Okay. Got it? So the only way you're going to change course, you're going to change what's going to happen, change the story, is you got to do the unexpected. You have to take the risk. Okay. You've got to get over that big FEAR word. Okay. Because many times your fears are absolutely false. Let me say that again. Many times your fears are absolutely false. Correct, Carly?
Mm-hmm.
Over and over again. So be dumb, right? Be dumb. Fall up the stairs, okay? Put a video out there that nobody watches. Try something, right? Do you know, when I started doing this call on Thursday, I didn't know it was going to work. I didn't even know if it's going to work. I don't know. I still don't know. I really don't even know yet. I was like, and somebody the other day says, "Do you realize that's really working?" I says, "I don't know. Is it working?" He's, like a few weeks ago, we had like 40 some people show up on this call. Today we got 27. That's pretty good, I guess. Right? Is it working? Okay. I made a plot twist. I'd never done that before, right? I didn't know if any of you guys would show up. I didn't know if you guys would show up if I had somebody like you'd be bored of this and never show up again, right? So, and there again, when you do stuff, it may look like a failure, but Carly, are failures, do they stack up to wins?
Eventually, yes.
Failures stack up to wins. Are you daring to fail? Are you running at failure? Are you afraid of failure? Think about, let's go to the music. Some of us are musicians, right? Okay. Okay. So back in the dinosaur days, you remember those things called LPs? And this was a big thing, right? Nowadays you go, well, what is they talking about? These things were called records, right? And we would go to the record store and buy records, right? But there was just so much space on an LP. It wasn't like, nowadays it's like, my workout list on my phone, it's just like, it's endless, right? It's like, no, it used to be a limit, right? And so these artists, they had to fit their songs on this album, right? And there was a length to it. Imagine that, right? And a symphonic musicians, I mean, sometimes maybe the first movement fit on the first side and you had to flip it over to hear, the second and last movement, right, of a big piece. Big problem of continuity there. But all these pop stars, right, record album, they go in and this is, you guys got 4 more minutes to use up here. We need something else to fill it in. Do you know how many times that filler song, that thing that just thrown in, became the biggest hit? Iron Butterfly, late 60s. What's the song, Tony?
In the Garden of Eden, which
In the
actually is in the Garden of Eden, is actually
yeah. And so you see, the minute I say that, Tony goes, yeah, bam. Do you understand? Those guys came into the studio. They had been drinking way too much wine. They were blown out of their minds. Okay. They had their set already down for the album. And somebody hit the record button as they were just riffing on the fly. And that became the biggest thing they're known for.
You know about the taking care of business story, Donald? BTO.
Remind me, please.
If you ever look at BTO, they didn't have a keyboard player, but there's a prevalent piano in the song Taking Care of Business. They ordered a pizza. The pizza delivery guy showed up The story is that they invited him to jam on the session, and that's him on the piano. Talk about opportunity knocks.
So according to Tony, if you guys are stuck, order pizza and invite the guy to come in. Or maybe not. Okay. But does that make sense? It's like so many times. So there again, Tony, right? Opportunity knocks and we fail to answer. It's right in front of us and we fail to answer. Is anybody guilty? Yeah, myself included, right? Okay. Does that help you guys out? Comments, questions. You got some of the biggest minds here. What's working for you guys?
Hey,
Gary.
Donald,
Yeah.
in the, when you were doing the past, present, future thing, I immediately went to the probably over quoted line from Yoda. There is no try, do. And it's over quoted for a lot of reasons. And it comes back to me frequently as being one of the wisest things whoever wrote Yoda's stuff. Right.
Yes.
And it's so interesting that in the God of the Vita story. Thanks for telling that drum solo back in the day. I was a drummer in a rock band, was the bane of every drummer's existence, because when you went to when you played at a party or a dance, you had to play that song because it was, one of the most popular songs. And heaven help the drummer if he didn't have the solo down exactly the way, and I forget the Iron Butterfly's drummer's name, the way that it was played one time on their record, as you talked about. But here's the irony of this. The drummer in Iron Butterfly had to play the solo the same way.
Sober.
Sober, exactly. So anyway.
Yeah. When I work out, I end my workout with Anagata Davida every time. And it's interesting. I went through conservatory at the end of the 70s. And so 10 years after that song had come out, and we actually studied that song in a conservative music, traditional conservatory music history, music theory class. Anagata Davida was a model song. Think about that for a moment. I don't know what they do now, but about 1979, it was about 10 years after that, we were taking that song apart, trying to forget the geniusness of that song. So think for yourself in your world, what is your genius? What is your song? What are you riffing on, right? What are you bypassing? Why are you not letting the magic in? Magic is Carly and I catching an Uber at 5 o'clock in the morning together to the airport, right? From a dead stop, me seeing her on a big screen like this with hundreds of people, and I'm going, who is that? Right? And her trying to figure out, finally going, hey, she keeps hearing my name, right? Fast forward just a matter of months. We're in an Uber together heading to the airport to get our flights back home. Do you not believe in magic? Carly, is that magic or what?
It's incredible. I did not see that one coming. I just knew I had to talk to you.
Makes sense. Does that help you guys out? This is a big Holy Week for a lot of people and a lot of faith traditions. There's a lot of faith out there. And I always tell people you can believe or not believe. It's your choice. It really is. But what have you got to lose? What have you have to lose? Are you ready to make that plot twist? And are you ready once you make the plot twist for it to really to get dicey? Okay, and not smooth. Okay. And are you ready to make it happen? No matter what. Are you ready to call on the magic? Right? Carly, you're not talking about the magic. So there's other people on the call that I know of incredible magic has happened. John and I connected 8 or 9 years ago, John, has it been? And he lives upstate New York there, and I'm out way past Seattle. And we ended up having a spaghetti dinner together, right? Remember that?
And some ice cream afterwards.
Yeah. And just like from different parts of the country, and he came in, and I just says, hey, I'm going to meet up with you, and let's go get a plate of spaghetti together. And we have been connected ever since, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So think about the magic, think about in your life, the potential, the obstacles that you maybe are letting get in the way. Go up to those obstacles and run at them, run around them, run over them, run through them. Don't think that. Send out that email. Send out the same email again. Send out the same email again. I was working with somebody the other day, says, oh, I need to go spend a bunch of time to create a bunch of new content. And I said, stop. I said, what about the content you've already got created? Push it out again. Push it out again. Push it out again. Why? Rather than spend your time creating a bunch of new stuff, take the stuff you already have and push it out again. And you guys all know I work with Chet Holmes. Okay. Right? So are you ready? Do you want me to show you how that works? Do you believe me this is it? Okay. Chet Holmes wrote a book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. Okay, incredible book. You could buy it for $10 on Amazon. Okay, got it? The book. His daughter just kind of rewrote it and pushed it out there again. Best-selling book, top 10 business books still. The Ultimate Sales Machine. It's a book.
99 cents on Kindle.
99 cents on Kindle. Okay. This book, we would sell people into a webinar. And back when we were doing it, webinars weren't a thing. So we'd say, well, it's like a seminar, only it's you do it on your computer. And we were talking to business people, they didn't even know what a webinar was because it wasn't a thing back then. And they would pay to come to that webinar. Do you know what the webinar was about? It was basically a abbreviation of the highlights of this book. And if they went to the webinar, do you know what we upsold them into? A DVD program. Do you know what the DVD program was? It was this book on DVD. People would pay thousands of dollars for. And do you know if they got the DVD program and we had a live event and they came to the live event and watched Chet on stage? Do you know what he did on stage? Exactly what's in the book. Are you paying attention? And do you know Chet's been gone now a number of years and his daughter's running the company? Do you know what she's doing?
Selling the book.
Selling the book.
content.
Same thing.
The same thing. Send the same email out again. Reach out to the same people again. Run at the same brick wall again. Fling the horse poop again, because there's a pony in there. Got it? Any parting questions, comments? How did we do today? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are we at? You can put it in the chat. I'd love to see that. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are we hitting this stuff, guys? Worth your time? Good stuff? Is Carly awesome or is Carly awesome? Carly is absolutely awesome. Yeah. Very good.